From the moment humans first looked up at the stars, we have asked ourselves questions that stretch beyond the limits of reality. Among these, one question has haunted our imagination more than almost any other. What if we could live forever? Mortality is the most certain thing about our existence. We are born, we grow, we age, and eventually we die. This cycle has defined every civilization, every culture, and every human life. But what if one day that cycle broke? What if all humans suddenly became immortal, immune to age, disease, and even time itself? This is not just a fantasy. It is a scenario that forces us to reimagine everything. Society, science, politics, relationships, even the very meaning of existence. To explore immortality is to explore humanity itself. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you will never grow old. Your body will remain at its peak condition indefinitely. You could be 20, 5 or 40, and that would be the version of you locked in place forever. No wrinkles, no illnesses, no final breath. At first, the reaction would be overwhelming joy. The fear of death, a shadow that has loomed over humanity for millennia, would vanish in an instant. Entire industries built around health, medicine, and aging would collapse overnight. Hospitals would be quiet, pharmacies empty, funeral homes irrelevant. Humanity would feel invincible, united by the realization that we had finally conquered nature's ultimate law. But death does not only bring fear, it also brings balance. Without it, the world would immediately face challenges that could tear it apart. The first and most obvious consequence of universal immortality would be population growth. Currently, humans die at a global rate of around 60 million people per year. If no one ever died, but births continued, the Earth's population would explode. Within a century, our numbers could double or triple. Imagine cities already bursting with people. New York, Mumbai, Lagos, Beijing now, unable to expand fast enough. Skyscrapers stacked on skyscrapers, families living in impossible densities, rural areas turned into endless housing blocks. Food shortages would become immediate. Water wars could erupt as nations fought over rivers, lakes, and rainfall. Climate change, already accelerated by billions, would spiral out of control. Forests cut down, oceans drained of life, farmland pushed beyond repair. Immortality would not only save lives, it could doom the planet. Unless humanity found a way to regulate births, survival itself might become impossible. Governments might be forced to pass strict population control laws, perhaps even banning childbirth altogether. The joy of creating new life could become a forbidden act. Death is not only a biological end, it shapes how we love. Knowing time is limited makes relationships precious. A parent hugs a child tighter because they know one day they won't be here. A couple promises till death do us part because death is the natural endpoint. In an immortal world, those rules vanish. Marriages might become endless chains of frustration. Can love truly endure centuries, or would boredom and resentment eat away at it? Divorce could become the norm, with people moving through hundreds of partners across endless lifetimes. Parenthood too would be transformed. We'd know that. Why would anyone bring new children into an already overcrowded world? Families might shrink to zero, cutting off the generational chain that has always defined humanity. Grandparents, parents, and children would no longer exist as stages. They would simply be forever people, unchanging, without roles to pass down. Even friendships could erode. The spark of youth, the bond of growing old together, all gone. After centuries, would human connection even matter? Or would immortality breed loneliness deeper than death itself? Our entire concept of time is built on mortality. Birthdays, graduations, retirements, these are milestones tied to age. Remove death, and the calendar itself becomes meaningless. Careers would be endless. Imagine a politician who never steps down, a billionaire who never passes on wealth, a king who never dies. Power would freeze in place, locked in the hands of those who gained it early. New generations would never rise to leadership, their voices drowned out by the eternal rulers of the past. Democracy could collapse into permanent dictatorships, not because of corruption, but because no one ever leaves office. Knowledge too would stagnate. Universities filled with professors who never retire. Industries dominated by the same old leaders. Fresh ideas crushed under centuries of established authority. The spark of youthful innovation might die in a world where the young never replace the old.